Guys, I can't say this enough. God works in mysterious ways. Let me just say that, all right? Tell me why I've been praying, because my mechanic was coming today. Today's Friday, finally. So, just kind of want to preference here real quick. So, before you guys get into the video here, I kind of want to preface everything that you're going to see here has happened within the base of from last week to this week. Right now, it is currently April 7th, Friday, April 7th, right? You probably couldn't even see that. Friday, April 7th. That's my background, is a Mustang. But, so, kind of talking a little bit. So, car is finally ready to get moved into paint, right? But the shop calls me and says, hey, like the car, they need to move it, but the car won't turn on. So at first I was thinking, okay, maybe it's the battery. So within all, like I said, this all happened between last week and this week. When it got a new battery, that didn't work out. Maybe it was the starter. Maybe the starter actually did fail. So I changed out the starter, got a new OEM starter. Thought maybe it was the starter, okay. Still doesn't want to crank over. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's an electrical issue, or maybe it's the fuel, or it's something, you know, because my mechanic thought at first it might be a mechanical issue. But I was like, the car has not been started nor moved since it's been parked in the bay where it's been sitting for the past while. So I was like, it can't be a mechanical issue. I mean, I know there's a small leakage with one of the valve covers not fully tightened down, but I was like, that can't be the possible reason why. So he finally comes today on Friday, right? And we diagnosed, by the way, let me back up a little bit. So I had been praying for the past like 4 or 5 days that I was like, God, please, like, let's figure this out, because the car's right there to being done. You know, it's right there to being done. I just talked to my guy and he says he has to wet sand the entire car, because then it's going to go and get ready for paint. So the car should be ready here within, I'd say, if not next week, by within 2 weeks, the car will be finalized and ready and put back together, right? But the issue was they couldn't get the car to turn over so that it could move. They could move it to the paint booth. If we had figured that out, it was a ground issues all this time, the car would have already been painted by now. It would have been started that process on Monday of this week, you know? But we couldn't figure it out until he finally came up there. And, you know, I had kind of told him as well. I was like, you guys have all these open circuits and wires, things that you undid. So I'm sure that, because you know, it's getting air, it's getting the fuel, and it has power. But somewhere in there, because I knew it was an electrical issue, I was like, somewhere in there, it's not connecting. So once we figured out, we put in 2 ground wires. I actually pointed it out too. I said, well, these are 2 ground wires. He said, oh, bro, that's probably the reason. He's like, I guarantee that's the reason why. He put them together and the car started turning over. I was like, wow, are you kidding me? Now, the only thing, there's still some E85 left in the line, which is going to be normal. So the car is still not running super ideally smooth. It still sounds like it has the ghost cam in it. However, I did fully tune the car. My tuner actually sent me a new revised tune. I'm going to email him back, because for some reason I have to give a lot more gas to combat for the amount of air the car is taking in, because I have a JLT 120 mil cold air intake on the car. So what I ended up having to do in order to get the car to stay over is I have to unplug the map sensor in order for the car to turn over to stay on and run ideally on its own. So that's currently the way car is right now. I didn't film any of the, I mean, I filmed the car starting up briefly, but I didn't film me moving the car. But I did move the car. It is in the paint bay. So they're going to begin the process of doing the wet sanding and whatever the process is for, you know, painting the car. So like I said, I'm not going to be rushing them. At least I know the car is in the final last step of its process, because they've been adamant of they want to get the car done. But these series of videos and clips that you're going to see all happened within the week. So it's kind of a little bit of rundown, the whole process of trying to nip this in the butt and finally getting to the process where we finally get the car to turn over. So hope you guys liked the video and enjoy. What is happening, everybody? How are y'all doing today? I hope we are all doing well and staying blessed up. So jumping right into today's video, before we do, go ahead and hit that like button, hit subscribe, and hit that bell notification to stay tuned for future videos, because this should be a good one today. So up my battery. I went up to the shop earlier today. I just now got off work, literally. So I'm on my way to pick up my battery. I took it from the shop and let it charge because I have been dying to hear how my car sounds with this new proper tune on the car, with the headers, with the cold air intake, and the Corsa Sport exhaust. So I've been dying to hear what this car sounds like. I'm getting hit with a laser right now. So before we could get the car to start up, the battery was dead because they haven't been starting up the cars. No biggie. I went up there earlier, picked up the battery. I took it to I think O'Reilly's and let it charge for a good 3 hours. It should. So battery should be perfectly fine. So I'm right down the road here. We're gonna go pick it up. We're gonna go back to the shop, plug it up, and we should be getting our first startup of the Mustang. My car is filthy. Absolutely just filthy. All right, so we got the battery. Now we make our way to the shop. Alrighty guys, so we're here at the shop. He's working on an M4 right now. Got the battery here. I just need to hook it up here and hopefully they will be okay with me starting the car. Alrighty guys, so I was not able to figure out why the car won't start. I'm gonna have to do some research tonight, see if I can't figure it out. I found the fuse for the starter, and then there's like a run/start fuse. I pulled both of them, plugged them back in. Both of them look perfectly fine, so I'm pretty sure it's not the fuse. I don't know if it possibly could be the alternator. I really don't know what the cause is. Because the starter, like, and I'll include the video because I took a little bit of a video that I'm gonna send to my mechanic. Take a video and see if I can send it to my. Yeah, something's engaging. So I don't think he unplugged anything that's major. But like you can hear something is engaging whenever you hit the start button, but it's just the starter is not engaging at all. And I don't know why. So I went and got the battery charged, put it in. We even put a jumper to the battery as well to see if that might be the cause, and it's the same thing.
The next day.
Man, starter does kind of seem a little rough.
So it might be the starter then.
Maybe. Let me try it again.
All right.
That thing should be.
All right guys, so in order to remove the starter, you have to take off the battery cover, which I already did. It's held on by 3 bolts. Mine had some Loctite on it, as you can see, and it's hella rusted. Now I have to remove this heat shield right here, this black piece. So it has about, I believe, 4 screws. Oh, well, no, 5. There's 6 screws on here. I'm currently removing, and then you'll need a 13mm socket, and it should have access to the starter, which is right on top. Well, you'll have access to it on top, so I'm gonna try and see if we can't get that done. So yeah, just in order to get the stupid heat shield off, where is it? This guy, there's so many bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's also one behind here, 9, 10, I believe. So it's 10 bolts just to get this stupid thing off. It was a literal pain in the ass. You have no idea. I had to even lift this guy, take the windshields off to get to that last bolt that was behind here in order to finally remove it. So I just need to get underneath the car so I can jack it up, so I can get to the bolts that I need to get in order to remove the starter. Alrighty guys, so I had to actually end up ordering a new starter. I took it up to AutoZone and it failed the test. They couldn't hand me a paper because they said their machine wasn't working. I ordered a new one. Really didn't want to, but obviously I could kind of tell the starter was low-key going out, if I'm being honest. But thankfully the battery was at least under warranty, so got a brand new battery. It's like a 3-year warranty on that thing. We're getting a brand new starter. I'm sure there'll be a warranty on that as well. They said it should be here Thursday around 3:30, 4 o'clock, something like that. So I'm sure they'll give me a call. Oh my goodness, everybody is just flooring it right now. I'm sure they'll give me a call. So once they give me a call, I will head up to the store, pick it up, and then we will reinstall it back on the car, which hopefully should be a lot easier than it was to taking it off.
Tomorrow for sure.
Alrighty guys, package is secured. We're gonna head out, head back to the shop. I just washed my car too, she's looking pretty clean.
346 minutes later.
Alrighty guys, hopefully y'all can see me. Here is the brand new starter. Open it up here. Apologize for the background noise. I think he's on his lunch break right now. Here she is. So one thing, it doesn't come with the actual screws that it, I guess they don't come with the screws. So make sure if you guys are changing your starter, you keep the OEM screws, which thankfully I did. So I'm gonna go grab those real quick, and then I'll kind of give a little walk around the car here before we start. Alrighty guys, so just to kind of show you where I'm working with, I'll grab my flashlight here so you guys can see. Starter goes right in here. So this is where we're going to be installing it. So I don't really know if I'm gonna, yeah, it's fairly straight, simple. I'm not gonna really record this. I'm just gonna bolt it up from the back right here and then put everything back together, and we should kind of go from there. Alrighty guys, so a little bit of an update. So it's my flashlight. So got the starter installed. It is right there. Got everything hooked up. And there's a little bolt right up here. I'm gonna shine the flashlight. It's gonna be right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. That one is a 13 mil. I highly recommend, if you guys ever need to change your starter, get one of these. It is a lifesaver. It will relieve so much time. But that's a 13 mil for that top one. So finally got it all bolted down. Now I need to put the box back, the shield. We'll put the battery, and fingers crossed it starts up. Alrighty guys, so I have everything hooked up here. Battery is all hooked up, got everything back on the car, starter. Here's the final test, guys. Final test. So kind of show you guys a little bit what the car looks like just before we start here. Like I said, this was 10 times easier than doing my Honda on Saturday. Nice big old 305 girls. I'm gonna be changing those out whenever they run out to some Michelin Pilot Sport. Kind of a little bit of what the car currently looks like. Sanded everything down, I guess all the blemishes and whatnot. Got my boy's tires on here that he let me borrow, so engine should be perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and get in here and hopefully pray to God that she starts up. This is probably going to be pretty loud, so I'm going to place you guys all the way back here. I'm going to record on my phone here too, so. Alrighty guys, so as you saw, I tried to change the fuse. That didn't work. Car's still not giving me anything, so I am hooked up to the OBD2. Got my tune going. I think it's just doing it's updating the firmware right now. So once that's done, I have a jumper hooked up to the battery this time, so hopefully, fingers crossed, this helps. If not, I don't know what else to do, if I'm being honest with you guys, because like I said, the car is right there, so close to being done, so close, but it won't turn over. I don't know why. I'm really hoping it's not a mechanical issue. That's the last thing that I really want to happen, but oh man guys, I'm so ready for this car. It's gonna take me a while to get used to the shifter, I'll tell you that much, because it's so short. I mean, this is neutral, literally first gear right here, second gear, third, fourth, fifth, and then sixth. It's so short, guys. It's even hard to just like, because literally third is just up. That's fourth gear. It's that short. Reverse. But I think he has the camera out. Is he? Yeah. Yeah, the truck's not hooked up. So I'm going to be here for a little while, because last time this took a little while, so I'll kind of update you guys periodically here. Alright, so I believe it's done updating, so we're going to come over here. Here's the tune that Lund sent me. You're going to write to vehicle, hit OK. It's going to check the connection. Alright, it's doing something right now. It said low engine oil pressure. Engine coolant over temp. Well, that's a lie because the car hasn't been started.
The next morning.
thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed this video, like I said, we are almost there. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will catch y'all on the next one, guys. And remember to always keep shifting forward.
Yeah, feel me? I might sip out this bottle until it get hollow. Shit, I might sip out this bottle, just drowning my sorrows. Drowning my sorrows, be better tomorrow. Cause these broken dreams is as hard as it gets. My nigga died at only 25. I'm thanking God for letting me see in 26. Shit.